Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another full PC build guide. So if you've never built a PC before, you've come to the right place. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to do everything from start to finish. We're gonna be breaking this video down to 3 parts. First, we're gonna go over all the parts and their prices while we're building the PC. And then second, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to install Windows 10, any necessary drivers you may need, and games. And then last, we're actually gonna be playing games. So this is gonna be a pretty long video because this is a full guide, so we're just gonna jump right into it. So we're gonna be working with our CPU and our motherboard first. So we paid $77 for our motherboard. This is a micro ATX form factor and it's rocking the B450 chipset. As far as the CPU we chose to go with, we went with the very popular Ryzen 5 2600. This is a 6-core processor and we paid $165 for it. So if you're gonna be streaming or doing any multitasking tasks, this is a great CPU for that. So if you look closely at the CPU in the bottom left-hand corner, we have a little arrow. We're gonna line up that arrow with the arrow on the motherboard, and on the motherboard, it's on my top left as well. So go ahead and lift up the pin. Don't push it in, just lightly set it down into place because we don't wanna bend the pin. So it should just fall in. Keep trying to get it to line up, and there you go, it falls in. And then go ahead and just lower the lever. Done. Now we're gonna be installing our heatsink onto it to cool our CPU. So we wanna go ahead and remove these 4 screws first. So we're gonna be using the AMD stock heatsink. So the installation process is also gonna be very simple. And as far as the thermal paste, it's already pre-installed on the stock heatsink. So you don't have to worry about that. Line it up with the 4 points and then screw it in. As far as over tightening it, don't worry because it'll stop once it's fully tightened. It won't let you over tighten it. So I like to do opposite ends first because if you do the ends right next to each other, it's gonna then be a lot harder to actually get it to screw in. So the fan on the heatsink is gonna need power. So it's down here labeled CPU fan. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook it in just like that. Before we move on to our next part, go ahead and get out the IO shield from the box of the motherboard. It also comes with 2 SATA cables, and these cables are used to hook up the drives to our motherboard, such as a hard drive or an SSD. So moving on to our RAM, we went with 2 sticks of 4 gigabytes rated at 2666 megahertz. So when installing our RAM, it also just goes in one way and you just wanna make sure you hear it click and then you're good. As far as where we're gonna be sticking our 2 sticks, we're gonna be sticking it in the gray slots. So the 2nd and the 4th one. So just go ahead and, till you hear the click, and then just do the other one. The thing should just click into place just like that. All right. RAM's installed. So for our case, we went with the MasterBox Lite 3.1 TG. The TG stands for tempered glass. We paid $50 for this case. If you get the non-TG version, then it'll have an acrylic side panel, not a tempered glass side panel, and that's gonna cost you $10 less. Having a tempered glass side panel though just makes a big difference in quality and feel. The tempered glass panel just adds a lot of bonus points in the aesthetics department. So yeah, go ahead and just get both lids removed. Right now we're gonna be installing our motherboard, securing it into our case. So this case allows us to customize the accents right here and down here to white, black, or red. Since we're gonna have a white and black theme going to match our Venom Funko Pop, I'm gonna be going with white. So now we wanna make sure we have all the appropriate motherboard standoffs in the correct areas. So this motherboard has 1, 2, 3, and we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're gonna need a total of 8 motherboard standoffs. So it looks like I'm gonna need to get 6 motherboard standoffs that we're gonna be adding in. Okay guys, so our motherboard standoffs look like this. So we're gonna need 6 of those, and we're gonna need this tool right here. We're gonna insert the motherboard standoff, and then the other end is gonna allow us to screw it in. So right here on the bottom top left of our case, we're gonna be securing in our first motherboard standoff. And our second one's gonna go over here at the far right of the case, top row. Our third one, moving on to the second row, gonna go at the far left side. And then again at the far right side on the second row. So now our last motherboard standoff, it's not gonna go right across. It's gonna go down here. So we have all our motherboard standoffs where we need to have them. Now before we put in our motherboard, you wanna make sure you first put the IO shield. So yeah, just get it into place and you wanna make sure it clicks in. So yeah, just line it up with the IO shield. And now we wanna get it to just sit into place. So we won't even then have to hold it up. Okay, before we screw anything else though, good thing I remembered this because I want the cable management to be really good. There is no right or wrong way as far as the order as to what you install the parts. You can do it however you feel like it. I'm gonna just leave this how it is and move on to our power supply. I'm gonna be getting out our CPU power cable because I wanna route it through here, but it won't fit if the motherboard's already screwed into place. So I'm gonna run that CPU power cable first and then screw it into place, which is why we're moving on to our power supply for now. You'll see what I'm talking about, but it's because I want to make sure the cable management is very clean in this build. So the power supply I went with, this is a 600 watt semi-modular bronze rated power supply from EVGA. $40 is what we paid for this guy. That came out pretty clean, guys. So go ahead and just wire these cables back here. And you want the band of the power supply to be facing down. And the 4 screws come with the power supply. All right, cool, our power supply's in, and we're gonna move back into our motherboard. So CPU power input's right here, and the clips are on the left side. It should clip in. Make sure you plug it in all the way. And now I'm gonna put in our motherboard. So we wouldn't have been able to route it this way if the motherboard was screwed in prior, because there just wouldn't have been enough space for that cable to fit. So just like we do for this one right here, do the same for all the remaining motherboard standoffs. All right, done. So our motherboard's secure. So when building a PC, you only have 2 sets of cables, our case cables and our power supply cables. The power supply cables are gonna power our different components in our PC, and the case cables serve to connect our case USB ports, as you can see right here, and also the microphone and the headphone jacks and a power button and a reset button. So all these things right here are gonna be connected to the motherboard by these cables right here. We're gonna go ahead and take care of these first. So this cable is the USB 3.0 cable. It looks like this, guys, which is gonna connect the USB ports from our case to the motherboard. Now this next one is gonna connect our headphone jack and our microphone jack of the case to the motherboard. It's the HD audio cable. So as you guys can see, it's gonna hook into there just like that. Okay, moving on to our next cable. This is also a USB cable. It's just labeled USB. We're gonna be hooking into this middle one. So with the USB text facing up is how it's gonna go in. All these final cables are all gonna be labeled. We're gonna be hooking it into these pins of our motherboard. First, we're gonna be working with the HDD LED one. We're gonna be hooking up this one on the very bottom. So now on top of that one, we're gonna hook in the power LED ones. So we're just gonna connect them right on top. So there goes one. Now the other. So now on the very bottom, you're gonna put the reset switch right next to the bottom one that we had plugged in previously. And then on top of that is when we're gonna hook in our power switch on top of the reset switch. So this is the other cable that is already hooked up to our power supply. All right, guys, so right here we have a clip, and you wanna make sure that clip clips back here. And just go ahead and line it up. There's not much support right here for the motherboard, so I'm gonna be putting a finger behind it so we don't bend our motherboard, and then we're just gonna push down. So as you can see, it clipped in, and that's how we want it. So yeah, we hooked in all our case cables already, and we already moved into our power supply cables, and we already eliminated 2 of them from the bunch. As far as these other power cables, our SSD and our hard drive are gonna be powered by this SATA cable, and then this one is gonna power our graphics card. So the power supply power cable is gonna be labeled VGA. And this end is gonna hook up into our power supply where it's labeled VGA. And now our SATA cable, I'm just gonna plug it into SATA 2. All right, guys, so now we're gonna be moving on to our drives. So for our SSD, we paid 30 bucks for this guy. We're gonna be installing the Windows 10 operating system onto here and any programs. As far as where we're gonna be installing our games, that's gonna be on our 1 terabyte hard drive. We paid 40 bucks for this guy. So the reason we're installing Windows 10 on our SSD is because SSDs are a lot faster than hard drives. That means if Windows 10 is on here, your computer's gonna just boot up quicker because it loads everything faster. Our hard drive is gonna go in here and our SSD is gonna go on top. So if we wanna make the installation process of the drives more easier on ourselves, the cage could actually come off. So yeah, you're gonna want the SSD to clip into these little holes like that. But on the other side, we're actually gonna be screwing it in. Now our hard drive, I'm gonna be putting it on the top slot. Okay, so we'll finish hooking this up in a bit. Right now, I'm gonna be installing fans. Now this is totally optional, you don't have to, but installing these fans will promote better airflow. These are 120mm fans. They come with their own screws. So you can see they look pretty clean. I'm gonna wanna remove this sticker. I'm just thinking about how I haven't yet invested in a heat gun. Wait, we're gonna wanna turn this to ignite. All right, our flame is now on. And just try not to burn yourself. Ah! Now on the bright side, the sticker came off very easily, but we burned our fan. We're gonna put it in this way. Make sure the black side is facing the outside of the case. I'm gonna be routing the cable up here. Here it is. Now I'm just gonna pull it through. So to remove this front cover, it is gonna require a bit of force. Don't worry, don't be afraid of breaking it. And we're gonna go ahead and secure our final 2 fans. All right, cool, our fans are secure. We could go ahead and put our lid back on, but remember what I said is that we were gonna change this to the white colorway. So yeah, you just pull these ends over and then push them in like that. All right guys, so now we're gonna be hooking up our fans to our motherboard, and that's where our fan splitters come into play. So they pretty much allow us to hook up more than one fan into just a single fan header. So this splits it into two. So I'm gonna hook up a fan splitter up here, chassis fan 2. All right, so that looks clean, guys. I'm gonna be hooking up our other fan splitter to the other fan splitter. So now, as you can see, we can hook up a total of 3 fans, which is exactly what we're working with. So I'm gonna just hook up one right here, one right there, and our final one is right here. All right guys, so now we're gonna finish hooking up our drives to our motherboard. But first, they're gonna need power. So this is where our SATA power cable is gonna come into play. So we're gonna wanna hook up one of the ends to our SSD. That goes right here. So it plugs in only one way, just like that. And we're gonna be doing the same thing for our hard drive, just like that. So now that both of our drives are powered, we now need to connect them to the motherboard so they could actually read and write data. And that is where our SATA cables come into play. And I know it could be confusing, they're both called SATA. So we're gonna go ahead and hook up our SATA cables to our motherboard. One's gonna hook up right here, and then we could hook up the other one. So now that both of our SATA cables are hooked up, I can now hook one up to our SSD, just like that, and then the other one to our hard drive. I'm just gonna use my other hand to just wire the cables to the back because we don't wanna clutter of cables in the front of our build. There we go, we're done. Our hard drives are installed and so is the drive cage. All right guys, so now we're gonna be installing our RGB LED strips into the PC to add lights. As far as how we're gonna be controlling these RGB LED strips, it's gonna be from a program within our desktop. I'll show you guys how to install that later on in the video. So I'm gonna just sneak it in through here between the power supply and the case, and then slide it in through. I'm gonna wire one right here. Let's go ahead and attach another strip. These RGB LED strips are magnetic. So how we're gonna be powering our RGB LED strips is with this single cable, which hooks up directly to our motherboard. And we're gonna sneak it in through the back, and it's gonna hook up to the white pins. Now you gotta make sure you attach the arrow, which you can see right here on the cable itself, on the left-hand side of the pins. So just like that. If you put it in on the other way, then it won't work. Now we need to hook up this end of the cable to the RGB LED strip, and I'm gonna work it in through the same place right here. I'm just gonna connect it to our RGB LED strips. Boom, done. All right guys, so finally, we get to work with our graphics card. So we went with the RX 580. This is the 8GB version. We paid $230 for this. So if you're looking to buy an RX 580, now's the time. These cards right now are at an all-time low. And this one is the MSI Armor Edition. The colorway of this graphics card couldn't have matched our theme any better. So as you can see right here on the back of the box, it has a black and white colorway, which looks awesome. And here it is. And here we have the main star of the show, the wrapper. This thing goes in like this. We're actually gonna be removing the second and third expansion brackets. Okay guys, just line it up with our PCI slot, and once you have it into place, just push it in and it should clip in. So now just go ahead and secure it into place. So our graphics card needs power, and that's the final cable that's left, and make sure it clips into place. And we're good. I'm gonna clean this up right now with a zip tie. Okay, where are we gonna be putting Venom? Perfect. What do you guys think? Right in the middle of the O. Okay guys, we're done. Final part now is just managing your cables. As you can see guys, you could definitely do a better job than I did if you wanted to. Let's clear our desk. All right guys, so we're gonna go ahead and turn it on now, and it's alive. Okay guys, now we move on to the second part of this video, which is installing everything. You're gonna wanna have a USB flash drive that has Windows 10. You can purchase this, or you can create one of these for free. I've made a full tutorial on how to do that. That will be linked in the video description. Press F1 to run setup. All right guys, so yeah, go ahead and hook up the USB flash drive, and we're gonna go ahead and turn off our PC. Just hold the power button until it shuts off. So now what we're gonna wanna do is we're gonna go ahead and turn it back on, and it's gonna boot directly to our USB flash drive because our drives are empty. Pick your language, English, next, install now. So right here is, if you don't have a Windows key, then you're gonna put I don't have a product key, and then that's how you pretty much run Windows for free. If you have a product key, then you would have went ahead and inserted it right there. The Windows version I'm gonna be installing is Windows 10 Pro. Go ahead and skim through this, pretend like you read it. I accept, next. We're gonna click custom installation, and we're gonna be clicking the drive with the least amount of storage, which is our SSD, so Windows could boot up quicker. Next, yes. So now it's just a waiting game. This should be fairly quick because it is installing onto an SSD, and like I said, SSDs are pretty quick. All right, so finish installing, so the computer just rebooted itself. So once you get to this screen, pretty much this means that we're now running Windows from our SSD. So you can go ahead and just pull off that USB now and nothing will happen. It's good because it's running from the SSD, like I said. So now it's pretty much like you just bought a brand new computer from the store. All right, guys, so we finally made it to our desktop. So first things first, we're gonna be installing our graphics card drivers. So go ahead and just go here and search up Internet Explorer. Let's open that up. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna install Google Chrome. Accept and install. You don't have to do this, but I just wanna use Chrome browser. We'll go ahead and just download our graphics card drivers. The link to the drivers will be linked in the video description to make it easier for you guys. This one right here, the first one that pops up, Windows 10 64-bit edition. That's the newest version, as we can tell by the date. I'm gonna go ahead and click download, and I'm gonna save as to our desktop. Save. All right, it's done. We'll go ahead and click run. Yes. Could exit this out now, minimize Chrome for now. So what we're currently running is this installation, the graphics card drivers. So just click install and wait for that to finish up. And while that's installing, we're now gonna install Steam to download some games. So go to steam.com, install Steam. It's gonna be downloading the installation process. Click it to open it up. Yes, next. Next, run Steam, finish. All right, Steam's installed. Graphics card drivers are still installing. So Steam is the platform that we're gonna be using to download the majority of games. And if you wanna download games like Fortnite, you're gonna download the Epic Games application. So let's go ahead and download Epic Games as well. Epic Games. Go ahead and click get Epic Games, install, yes. All right, that's installing. And if you want to download any Blizzard titles like Overwatch, you download the battle.net application. And this came up as part of one of the installation processes. And yeah, we're gonna want to download and install that feature right here. We're gonna go down to Blizzard battle.net desktop app is what it's called. Download for Windows. It's gonna download the installation process. Continue, yes. So yeah, we're pretty much downloading everything for our games. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign into my Epic Games right now, and I'm gonna show you guys how to install Fortnite. And then we're gonna be installing a game from Steam. But we still have to do one more step to configure our hard drive to actually be able to install games on it too. We'll do that right now, but let me log into my account. So here's Epic Games. This is how we would download Fortnite. I'll show you guys how to download it right now. Right now, let's just minimize everything. So we're back into our graphics card installation, and I'm gonna go ahead and click accept and install. This is still doing its thing. This is currently, oh, this hasn't started for the Blizzard. So we're gonna put continue. All right, let that do its thing. Let's go back to our graphics card installation. So we're gonna go ahead and let's press custom install. Yeah, let's go ahead and install everything, install. So while all this is getting done, let's go ahead and configure our hard drive. So to do that is we're gonna have to go ahead and type in disk, and it should come up right here under settings, create and format hard disk partitions. Click that. All right, guys, so this right here, the screen is flashing. That's because we're installing graphics card drivers. I gotta wait for it to come back. Okay, it just came back. Oh, and as you can see, there you go. So now our sound's working. So the graphics card drivers installed our sound drivers, and now we're actually displaying it at the resolution we want to. As you can see right here, disk 0 is 930 gigs. That's our 1 terabyte hard drive. So we're gonna go ahead and right click the 930 gig space right here, and we're gonna put new simple volume next. So right here, you can pick whatever letter you wanna use for your drive. I'm just gonna use G for games because that's what we're using it for. Next, new volume. So I'm gonna go ahead and just title it 1 terabyte HDD. All right, well, there we go. We just configured a hard drive. We could exit this out now. So now if we click this folder right here and we go to this PC, we now see our drive. So we have our main drive, which is our SSD, and then our 1 terabyte hard drive, which is only gonna be used for games. So now we can install games. So we're gonna go over here and just go ahead and click play now. And we're gonna wanna install Fortnite, and we wanna choose where we wanna install it to. So this is where we have to navigate it to the hard drive because we don't want it to install on our SSD. Browse this PC. Okay, so we're gonna go into our 1 terabyte hard drive, and I'm gonna click new folder. I'm just gonna title it Epic for Epic Games. Click Epic and then put select folder, and that's now the path that we're gonna be installing Fortnite into. It's auto update, sure, create shortcut, sure, and now finally install. So now it's downloading the game to our hard drive. Now it's asking us if we want to install Radeon Reliv. So Radeon Reliv is AMD's program that allows us to record our gameplay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click yeah, sure, why not? And there, it's done. Am I gonna download anything else from the internet? I am actually. I'm gonna download some motherboard drivers. But right now, let me go ahead and show you how we install games from Steam. So go ahead and go over your library, right? If for any games you've purchased, if you're new to PC gaming, so of course you gotta make a Steam account and then purchase your first game. Wow, if any of you guys are new though, like comment down below if you do end up building this PC, how it went and what was your first game you purchased. My first game that I ever purchased on PC was actually Modern Warfare 2. Fun fact. No wait, what am I talking about? That was the second game I ever purchased. The first game I ever purchased was from Walmart and it was Halo Combat Evolved for the PC. I was playing that on the Windows XP. And man, was the frame rate, I think the frame rate was like, oh my God. Let's go ahead and install Rainbow Six Siege. Install Rainbow Six Siege, create desktop shortcut, sure. We gotta choose where we want it and we're gonna wanna create a Steam library on our hard drive, drive G, yes. So let's go ahead and put new folder and we'll call it, yeah, Steam library, sure, okay. Select that folder, select. Now it's gonna install the games onto our Steam library on our hard drive. Next, I agree, and cool, just let it do its thing. So like I said, guys, games are really large in size. As you guys can see right here, Rainbow Six Siege is 93 gigabytes. That's a lot. That is 1/10 of our whole drive. Depending on the game, of course, like other games are not that huge, but another game that's super huge is Grand Theft Auto 5. So yeah, it looks like Fortnite's only a total of almost 12 gigabytes. All right guys, so I just logged on to Blizzard and I'm gonna be installing Overwatch. So same thing, install, and it's gonna tell us where we want to install it. Right here is where you're gonna click change because right now they're all defaulting to the hard drive, to the SSD. But we wanna install it on our hard drive, so I'm gonna click this PC, hard drive, I'm gonna create a new folder so we're gonna install Overwatch into our Blizzard folder. Select folder, keep this game automatically updated, yes. So I'll start install. Now we're gonna move on to installing any motherboard drivers you may or may not want. So we're gonna go to the motherboard's website. Once again, the link is gonna be posted in the video description to make it easier for you guys. It's the ASUS Prime B450. Support, driver and tools. Okay, we're gonna select our operating system, which is Windows 10 64-bit. So this is where you download the newest BIOS version if you wanted to update your BIOS to the latest version. We're not gonna be updating the BIOS in this video, but if you guys do wanna do that, like I said, there's plenty of guides on YouTube on how to install the BIOS. But we are gonna be downloading our audio driver, that's downloading, and we're gonna be downloading our LAN drivers. Utilities, we want to be able to change the RGB LED strips. These are the same program. I'm only gonna be installing the newest one. I'm not gonna be installing this one. Only install this newest one right here. I'm only gonna be downloading this one, guys, okay? The first one with the newest date, not this one. So we're gonna install an audio driver, a LAN driver, and our lighting control program. Any other drivers we may wanna install? Nope. Chipset AMD driver, I'm not gonna be bothering installing that. You guys can install it if you choose to. So show in folder, and we have our 3 drivers right here. I'm gonna go ahead and just drag them to the desktop as soon as they're all done in downloading, and they are. So we could finally exit this out, drag them to our desktop. So these are all zipped. So you're gonna right click them and put extract all. And yes, we wanna extract it to the desktop, extract. So that's extracting. Do the same thing for all 3 of them. Extract, yes, to the desktop. Right click, extract all to the desktop, yes. And once you're done extracting, you're gonna have a new copy right here, which is now unzipped, and it automatically opens them for you. So yeah, let's go ahead and install our lighting controls first. So let's get in here and we're gonna wanna click ASUS setup, yes. We could click ASUS setup or setup, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna click ASUS setup once again, yes. So we'll exit that out, and then the last one, where is it? LAN was right here, and we're gonna click ASUS setup, yes. All right, so we'll exit that out. And the lighting control one, we already opened up the setup. Okay, so right now we're installing the Ethernet. Next, install, that's installing, we'll put that to the side. This is our lighting program. Next, that's installing. And this is our audio driver. So yeah, we're multitasking here. This is the PC Master Race, guys. You know, we get things done all at once. So all these programs are being installed onto our SSD. So it should be quick. Okay, so that needs to restart now. We'll do that later. Oh, it's tripping out. Oh, it's tripping out. Oh, there you go, it's done. That was normal. System needs to reboot to complete the installation. Do you want to reboot now? So no, we're not gonna reboot yet, just yet. Finish. No, I will restart my computer later. Okay, and then finish. All right, we got that out of the way. So look, Overwatch is done installing. Steam is still trying to find out where it's gonna install Rainbow Six on the hard drive. And then Fortnite is at 92%. Now we just gotta wait for all the games to finish downloading. But once the games are finished downloading, like Overwatch is done downloading, but we can't start playing yet. We have to reboot the computer so all the stuff we just installed could be working. I'm gonna restart the computer as soon as this is done finding space for Rainbow Six Siege. But while we're waiting for Rainbow Six Siege to finish up, I'm gonna take this moment to say, I'd like for you guys to comment down below what future budgets you'd like for me to work with. If you look down in the comments and you see someone comment down below a certain budget or a certain parts combination you would like to see, thumbs up that comment and comment down below on that comment. That helps boost the comments to the top. It lets me know that more people wanna see that budget, and it's more likely for me to then make that the next build. So yeah, guys, also theme ideas too. Like this was inspired, of course, by the upcoming Venom movie. I'm very pleased with how it came out, guys. It looks beautiful. This little guy looks dope. And as you see closely, his head moves because the fan, it's just a slight movement. Well, right now I just cheated by moving the desk, but it does move a little bit because it is a bobblehead and the graphics card fan is right on it. As far as right here, I really liked how this came out. We got the white on white on white. The fans on the side right here came out really clean. That really matches our build. We have our white fan and it complements the AMD text, which is also white. And then we got our beautiful Ballistix Sport white RAM right here. Right now, the fans are currently not spinning because, well, it's not necessary. They'll pick up spinning once we're actually playing a game and the temperatures of the graphics card start to rise. And then to get a final side shot right there, beautiful PC. Alright guys, so the first game we're going to be testing out is Rainbow Six Siege. We're playing the game at the very high preset. Whoa, this guy has a lot of bullets in his clip. Come on buddy, get up here. I did want to say, if you guys want to play this game at 144 FPS, well then if you go with an RX 580, you'll be good. We do dip below 144 like shown right there, but overall it does stay very close to 144, going above 144 FPS at times. So yeah, if you want to play at 144 hertz. Oh my, what? You're able to squeeze through here? Oh my, let's not go there. let's try another route. They're everywhere, Oh, alright. Oh, come on. I saved you. Oh no, I did it. Sorry. Where is everyone? Oh, someone's behind me. Right here, bro. In front of me. Not my teammate. No. Again. Got a second. Alright, got that guy. Got that guy. Was there one more? Yep, there's a chicken. Just kidding, chicken. I'll spare you. You're cool. MSAA is at times 2. VSync is off, of course, because we're testing. And then everything else is pretty much set to high. Our shadows are on AMD. And yep, those are our settings.
Sweet mother sh. And the price of gas keeps on rising. Lateral damage, King. I got King down the front. Look out, it's coming down. Incoming.
Alright guys, so we're playing Overwatch now. So we're playing on the Ultra Settings preset and our resolution scale set to 100. Alright team, let's push forward. Yes, that came in very handy. Oh, we got the W. Hear him? He's up there. Oh, that was close. I'm gonna be looking fresh like him. Ooh, I'm looking fresh. Let's see. We're gonna turn it down to. We're gonna turn it down to the medium. So I turned it down to medium, and we did get a few extra frames. Sheesh. Oh look, my twin killed me. Okay guys, so we were just playing Fortnite on the high settings preset, but now we're gonna see how the FPS is if we turn it down to medium. But at 100% resolution supply. Gotta get out of here. It's not my scene. I just failed. Run. Oh, this person doesn't have a health pack. Okay, fly. Okay, so now we're playing at maxed out settings. Yeah, FPS is above 60, so that's good. That wraps up our testing. If you guys want to see future PC builds, make sure to turn on bell notifications for the channel. But yeah guys, thanks for watching this video to the end. I appreciate it. Peace.